Hey guys, my name is Miska and welcome to Overwatch Central. So, a huge PTR patch has just hit. I think it was something like 5 or 6 gigabytes. And it's not just Roadhogs, nerfs and all that sort of stuff. It's a bunch of really good stuff, including hero balance changes to I think 5 heroes a total, or 4 at least. And a new map and a new game mode for that map. And yeah, just really exciting stuff overall. This video is just for the hero balance changes though. We're gonna get straight into it with the first hero on our list, which is Junkrat, who can now throw 2 mines with no cooldown because, well, with cooldown, but with 2 charges right there, so just instantly dealing a lot of damage, and it's just good for burst, but also for getting around the map. So you can now do this, for example, you can put down a mine like this, and just instantly jump up and use another one, and get to all sorts of cool places like this. So yeah, good for mobility, also good for burst damage though, and yeah, overall just a very interesting change that I'm happy to see. And it's gonna be fun to try it out in some proper games as well. Yeah, other than that, Junkrat has actually received one more change, which is a pretty big one, and it has to do with his ultimate, the Riptire. So the Riptire can now actually just travel around faster. As you can see, it is about 30% faster, and it can climb walls without any sort of, you know, without any takeoff, or it won't fall off the wall at all, essentially. Before there used to be a limit, I think maybe 2 seconds of climbing a wall or something like that. But now the tire can just continue climbing the wall, which means that you can get around the map with not only Junkrat faster using the mines, but also just the Rip Tire because of that buff. Moving on though, we have Orisa, who has received some changes that I think Blizzard, or at least Jeff Kaplan, had said that they wanted to have a look at. And they wanted to just see what they could do with Orisa. And right here, as you can see, the projectile speed has been increased for her main gun with 20%. So that's a pretty decent buff, I'd say, to her main weapon, as it just allows for easier tracking and just means that you kill targets faster as well, because, well, it's just less time from button click to hitting the target. Other than that, we have the protective barrier. Sorry about that, Christ. If you just put this down, you can see that it's quite a lot bigger, actually. It's got this nice sort of more oval shape to it, I guess you could say. So rather than just being a little barrier sort of in front here, it's a lot bigger now, about 20% bigger, but it does mean that you have this sort of side coverage as well, even like this. If there was a choke here, from the front, from the left, and it means you can just fit more heroes in here as well. So overall, good Orisa changes, I'll definitely say. Moving on, we have another tank, Roadhog, who we have been expecting changes for, and I think everybody knows what Roadhog change has gone through and what exactly is going on with this hero. And it's going to be interesting to see how this change exactly like affects Roadhog as a whole. But it has to do with Take a Breather, of course, the heal ability. Now, if I run into here, I'm not sure if you're going to be able to really see it here, but it's a 50% damage reduction if right here. Oh, well, stop shooting right then as well. And you can also move when healing. So it's a little bit hard to show off since these bots barely do any damage to me. But you can move around now, and you also take less damage when actually healing, which means you can get around the corner and just get out of the way. It's just a good ability for Roadhog to be able to escape fights and just tank a little bit more damage if needed. I'm not sure if it's the Roadhog change we need, but it's the one we have got and the one we are going to try out and just, you know, see how it affects the game, essentially. Widowmaker has actually received a change as well, a couple even. And this isn't really something that I'd say we expected, but it seems like a good change, or at least a very solid buff. Her cooldown for the grapple hook is now lower. It's gone from 12, I believe, to 8. So that's a 4-second reduction, which is a decent amount actually. And on top of that, there's this very interesting change. So if I shoot the Venom Mine off over to the bot, and it gets affected by the Venom Mine, I can see the bot through the wall, which means that you can do stuff like this, where you know where your enemies are, so you can just jump around with a grapple hook or jump around the corner and more easily take him out, such as like just the same thing that you do when you have the ultimate up. Only Widowmaker will actually be able to see the enemy through the wall though, and yeah, Widowmaker's allies will not be able to see that same red outline. So yeah, interesting buff, not something I expected, but yeah, looking forward to trying all this stuff out. Either way, Junkrat is going to be the highlight for me, and I'm really looking forward to playing a little bit more Junkrat, at least in this PTR patch, seeing how the buff works out. And yeah, just excited to get my hands on this patch properly and yeah, play some proper games. I suggest you guys to go do the same. This patch is now live on the PTR on PC. Just go download it. And yeah, there's also some other cool new stuff that we'll be covering in a video not too long. But that's it for this video. Like the video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe for more Overwatch content as per usual. Until next time though, take care, and we'll see you then.